This is your third film with Spike Lee, is that correct?
Third film that I've acted in, but not the third film that we worked together. I worked with him on Get on the Bus as well. I was one of the member of the producing team for that project.
The themes in this film, I mean, it's clearly it's about Chicago and the spiraling violence there, but there's also issues of what it means, what we think and what society tells us it means to be a man and to be a woman, and gun violence in general, and institutionalized racism and how ingrained it still is in society. Every minute of this film is so weighted with these themes and the subtext. Coming into this, was this, of the films that you've worked on with Spike, is this the film that was just the most challenging as far as keeping all of those things on screen at every moment?
Well, it's a gargantuan task for him to take on. You got to be a Hannibal elephant to shoulder the weight of all of these issues that are brought, and even tackle this type of subject. And the idea of taking something that was a satirical play from, thousands of years ago, and transplant it to 2015, the South Side of Chicago, and it still resonate, it's pretty ingenious. It's pretty brilliant.
Yesterday, unfortunately, we had the 1,000th police killing in the United States this year, here in Oakland, right here in California. This is clearly, these issues are so important, and we're at a time when racism and confronting these issues and coming to terms with just how significant they still are in our society, it's such a big issue. Why aren't more films talking about this? Why isn't Hollywood addressing this in a more straightforward manner?
Well, Hollywood is made up of people, and it reflects the interests of those people and the cultural familiarity and the taste and the subjects that those creative talents find important. The more people you have in the game, the greater the variety of subjects that can be, and stories that can be told. This is one of those kind of stories that is very visceral and personal to the African American community. And in this instance, we have a brilliant genius of a director who also feels that this is important. Maybe we had more diversity, or more, it's not even just the diversity. You have more artists who have these kinds of passions, feelings, and that kind of cojones, or the courage to tackle these types of subjects, we'd have more films.
Do you think that the fact that studios are increasingly investing studio money in everything's a blockbuster and a tent pole, so smaller films and independent films with these kinds of messages are having to look elsewhere for funding and distribution, is that part of the problem, maybe, that to make a blockbuster that appeals to everybody worldwide, that Hollywood just is kind of deciding they don't want to touch on these kinds of serious issues that need to be
No, I don't think it's even that heavy, man. I think that there are people who are in the game because it's become so corporatized. There are people in the game who are, jobs, focused on job security and the bottom line and serving the interest of your investors. And these are the motivative factors. I would presume that they are still sensitive people, and people who have fears and care for things like the rest of us. But, it's a tough job running a studio.
Thank you very much for speaking with me. You
It's a
were
pleasure.
terrific in the